Yeah, that's a really good point. It's interesting because when you look at someone's profile, whether that be on LinkedIn or sort of their resume, the only thing you see is their successes. But what you don't see is the number of times that those people were told no, or the number of rejections or failures that they have. And in my opinion, those who are ultimately successful, it's almost like a numbers game. It's statistics. It's people who just keep trying and trying and trying, and eventually something sticks. So when you ask sort of what allowed me to keep moving forward in that adversity, and I mean, for everything that I was successful in, there's 5 or 6 things I wasn't. And I can talk about that at length. But I always went back to kind of, um, uh, when someone tells me no, or when something doesn't go my way, it's always, I always think about of that as a learning experience and as a lesson, and thinking about what can I take from that experience to move forward to the next thing, and how can I turn that into an opportunity. So it's looking back on it, I can't say that I consciously moved from one thing to another. I just kind of looked at things, or when I was rejected or things were said no to me, I just kind of found another way to move forward doing something else.
That's interesting. And how much do you say it's, the thing that you do are interesting? How much do you feel like it's the people that you're working with that are interesting? Like, how much of that mix is there?
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the people that have helped me along the way. And that can be, and I mean that by not only my mentors, like my professional mentors, my professors, my bosses, and my supervisors throughout the year, but I also mean that about my friends and my partner. So I've been with the same person for 6 years now, and she and I have been through a lot together. And I owe a lot of my success to actually having a grounded and supportive personal life and community of people who could help me through these rejections that I talked about earlier. But from a professional perspective, it is so important to have a mentor that is supportive of you and that you get along with personality-wise. Because I have a certain personality, and that personality didn't necessarily mesh well with my supervisor and my masters, even though that supervisor in all rights is a successful person themselves. So the lesson I learned from that experience was going into my PhD, I had to make sure that the person I was working with and the culture of the workplace I was going to fit me. And a lot of that has to deal with being honest about what your personality is and how you work with others. Do you work all the time? Do you need time away from work? Are you an extrovert and do you communicate openly a lot? Are you more analytical and are you more comfortable with numbers? Are you more comfortable with details? Are you more comfortable with big picture thinking, right? And a lot of that analysis and self-reflection helped me decide and determine which mentors would be sort of the best for me.